Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Some months ago already I found a new online thrift store and I bought, I think that time, some sweaters that I already made some adjustments on, that I made a video of. But I also thrifted 2 dresses and they were really nice, but of course they didn't fit me because nothing fits me. And I always tell you, well, when you buy something that you have to make adjustments to, do it immediately, otherwise it will be hanging there or laying there and you will never wear it because they don't fit you, you don't like them, so you don't pick them out of the closet. But I didn't follow my own advice, so I had them hanging there on my rack and they were just looking at me and I thought, well, I have to do it sometime because the dresses are really nice, but they are way too big on me as always. So I'm going to show you how you can make those alterations, especially when you can thrift them and they are really nice quality, really nice design. Then it's nice when you know how you can change them in a rather easy way. I myself wouldn't do that with buying clothes because I can make them from scratch very easily, and often to me it is less effort to make it from scratch than make the alterations on new garments. So I will never be a seamstress that make adjustments for you because I hate doing adjustments, but these items were so nice and I know that I can rather easily make them to my body type and to my body size. So I will show you how you can do that, and it will be 2 times in not the conventional way, but I give you another option how you can do it too, and maybe that is also easier for you to do. At least it was for me, so that's why I will do it like this. So I hope you like that, and leave me a comment if you liked these adjustments and if you will use them in the future. So this is really a beautiful dress, but as you can see, hopefully, it is way too big on me. It is a size 36, so that is my actual sizing, but I'm too short. The width is rather okay, but it is really too long for me. The waist here now is sitting on my hip, so what I will have to do is make sure that the waist is here where my waist is, but then you see the bodice is now way too long and that doesn't look good. And also you see here in the back it looks really funny. It's my older sister's dress like this, or my mother's dress. The length is okay. Also when I put it up like this, the length here is okay too, so I can just get away with that. So the skirt part I don't have to finish, but you see also the sleeves are way too long on me. So what you would normally do is just take the bodice off, make the part shorter, take the sleeves out, make them shorter, but I will do something very unconventional because we have here the shewing here, we have here this ruffle, we have elastic here also on the top where the ruffle is, and I don't want to mess with that. So what I'm trying to do, I don't know if I will succeed, but I really want to try, because if this is possible, I think it's a very nice way for you to know that you can change things like this too. Is what I will do is I will take the sleeves out first, and then I will make the shoulders lower. So like this. I also pinned this here down because this opened up till here, so when I had this down it will open up till my navel just about, so I will not have it like that. So I will also close that up a bit more, but it already gets better when I just lower the sleeve, the shoulders. You see that this is better also, and maybe I can show you for the sleeves. You see the sleeves also are better, but because I already have to take the sleeves out, I can also make them a little bit shorter when I sew them back in. So I'm gonna try if that works. We have pleats here in the front, we have pleats in the back, so a lot of things going on, but I really want to try if I can just alter this by lowering the shoulders, because it's a lot less effort than when you have to mess with all this here. And then it will be a really nice dress with the pleated skirt and the slit in the back. I also made that a little bit higher because I want to wear a bra with it, so I'll make sure that it closes up until where your bra sits. Then you don't have to worry about that. And also here in the front, I don't like it when it's down to open till there. So you can see now what a beautiful dress it is with the pleated skirt, and here the pleats on the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out my sleeves first, and I can do that because I have plenty of fabric on the bodice and plenty of length in the sleeves. But if you don't have that, then please use a seam ripper to take off the sleeves, but I just cut them off just along the seam. then I'm going to pin down all these pleats here, because I have to take quite some fabric off from the shoulder seam, and I want to make sure that my pleats will stay in place. So I do that for the front and also for the back, because I have pleats there too. Well, that went really well. I pinned here down the shoulders quite a bit below the former shoulder, and then the dress fitted very nicely. Also the shoulders are now better. Now I have cut out the sleeves, and with the seam allowance later on the shoulder will sit on a better point than it was now. The length is okay like this, and I also marked here in the back and in the front till where I want the opening to be closed, so that I can wear a bra underneath it. So what I'm going to do now first is I'm going to first, just below where I want the seam to be, attach here the pleats, or just above, I mean, the pleats, so that they are secured when I stitch down here my seam, because I have pleats in the front and in the back, and I'm not sure with only the pins they will be secured and stay nicely put when I make the seam here. So just above where the seam allowance will be, I will make a stitching here on the front and in the back on both sides, and then stitch it here down and finish the ends. I will do this by hand, just stitching it together, and when I've sewn this I will put my sleeves in again, just pinning it down first to see if the length is okay when I put them in, or if I need to take also more off from the length to make it more matching the length of my arm. So, but first I'm gonna do here the shoulders. Pinned in one of the sleeves to see how much I had to alter that. I pinned it in first, normally matching the seams, and then I took it out a bit to give the sleeve the right length, and you see it was quite a bit, of course, because also we took off quite a bit here of the length of the bodice. But what I also saw, I thought I would have now way too much of a sleeve length here on the head of the sleeve, but it just fitted in if I give it the ease as you normally do with a very nice high-headed sleeve. So I'm just gonna make my armhole a little bit low. You see it's almost already reaching here the waist part, so I'm just gonna lower it a little bit, and then just take this all off of the head of the sleeve. Mark that on my other sleeve too with fabric marker, so that I can take off that same amount on the other sleeve, and then just sew them in. So I marked the same amount on my other sleeve, and I'm gonna cut that off too. only thing that I have to do is close up here on the front and the back the bottom of the slit. I already did this in the front here, and how I did it is I marked, oh, my pin here is on the inside, I marked till where I want the slit to be closed up, and then you have several options. Because I have here a nice facing part in the inside, you can just put it on the wrong side and just make very small hand stitches by attaching the left and the right sides together. So just onto here that bend that I have here on the inside as the facing. That is very easy to do when you're not such a good hand sewer as I am. But you also can do what I did here in the front, and then you don't see also from the inside and from the outside not any stitching at all. Is, I think it's called a ladder stitch, and what you do is you take, I'll show it here in the front, you take, I hope you can see it, here just in the fold you take a very small piece of the fabric, like around 1 or 2 millimeters, you pick that up, and then you go to the other side, straight across, so just on the opposite side, and again you take 1 to 2 millimeters of fabric and you pick that up, and then you can go straight across to the other side, and again you pick that up, and when you pull the thread, the two sides just go towards each other, so not on top of each other but just towards each other, and then you don't see any stitching from the inside and from the outside. And I think that looks really nice, but it's a little bit more effort than when you do it just from the inside, and because you don't really see it when you do it like this, that is possible too. So I'm gonna do the back parts too, and then my dress is finished. And now it is finished. You see what a beautiful dress this is. The waist is now where my waist is, the sleeves are in the wrong length, the right length, and it looks really, really pretty. I think it's such a beautiful made dress with all the pleats everywhere. The skirt is very nice. Luckily I am short, but the skirt length because of that is still very much okay. It's hardly maxi, between midi and maxi, and I really like that length, and I think it's really, really beautiful dress like this. I'm glad I sewed it up here. I think I will have to do a little bit more because to my taste it's still a bit too low. Also in the back I did that, and I think it looks really pretty like this, and a big difference with the way too big dress that it was before. I must say, if I had to buy this dress new, I don't think I would buy it then because of all the adjustments. It wasn't difficult, it didn't really take that much time, but it is quite an effort for a new dress. But when you can thrift a dress like this for just a couple of euros or dollars, it's certainly worth the work because it is really not that big of a problem. And you see what a difference it makes when it's fitted to your body. And you just have to be brave enough just to cut it up. And now with the shoulders, it's a very nice way to alter this difference in the bodice length, because when I had to do it here, I think I wouldn't have done it because it's really a struggle to do that, to get it back nicely. And I don't think I would do it when you have here that the shirring, the smocking and the ruffle and the elastic, and that is way too much for me because, you know, I don't like to do alterations. I like to sew from scratch, but I hate doing alterations unless they are very simple and easy to do. But it's not my favorite thing. But I think this is really, really a nice result. How you can change your thrift items that you find that you like but are not really fitting your body. So I thrifted this dress. It's a really funny dress because it is 2 layers. You could also use it without the upper layer, but I have a thing for these double dresses. The back of the underdress has really nice corset detail here on the back. I'm opening it up now accidentally, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is, it has these very thin straps. Here it's more like a cords, and they are way too long because you see I have to hold my hand here, otherwise I will expose myself. So what I have to do is I have to take it up quite a bit to make it sitting at the right height, and maybe you can see it, maybe not. It is quite a bit that I have to put it higher. Maybe even I will take it in and a bit here, because now around my waist and my upper body it's a bit wide, but I will see if I have to. Maybe it's nice to have it just loose like it is now. So it's a pretty easy thing to do. The only thing is these straps are not even straps, it's just cords. That is very difficult to secure, because you can hardly stitch them on, because there's not really anything to stitch on. It's just, I think, not even 2 millimeters thick, the strap. So I will have to see how to do that, but that's the only thing that I have to change for this dress to make it a very, very nice dress. It's long as I like. You see the slits, and the fact that it's double, I think it's a really nice feature of this dress. So for the other dress that had the straps that were way too long, I tried it on and I measured how much I needed to take off, and I have to take off of both the upper and the underdress 8 centimeters of the straps. So I took them off of the back part of the dress. I have to do the other side too. It was quite a struggle because I really didn't understand how they had attached it, so it's a bit of a mess here. I have to fix that later on. But what I'm going to do, because these straps are very, very small, as you can see, and they unravel also very quickly, I'm going to make a reinforcement so that when I sew them on, they cannot get loose, because then your whole dress will fall down. And it's a pretty heavy dress. So what I did is I cut some pieces. I don't know if you can see, because it's all white on white. I'll put them here on my pin holder. I cut some rectangles. 4 pieces, because I need one for each strap. Take this one. I made a rectangle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them double, and then I'm going to cut it in a sort of triangle. So I'm going to sew it here from the edge, and I'm tapering it in to the end, but not closing it up. So I'll leave it open here at the bottom, enough to put my strap inside. So I'm just going to sew a triangle first. Then what you do is you cut off the extra fabric here on the outside of that triangle. Give it a little bit less bulk. And then you take your straps, cut off the amount that you have to take off. So I had to take off 8 centimeters, so I cut off about that, a little bit less, because I of course need a little bit of allowance to attach it to the dress back. So you cut that off. Then you put your strap into the triangle until it comes out on the smaller side. You put it in here on the wider side, and until it comes out here on the smaller side. And then what you do, you take it to your sewing machine and you sew it a couple of times up and down here, so that your strap is really secured to your piece of reinforcement fabric. Then you have something like this, and then what you do is you flip it inside out. So you flip your reinforcement fabric over the end of your strap, so that it comes with the right side out. And then you should have something like this. Then you can finish here the edges if you need to. If you have your straps going into your into the facing of your dress, which usually you'll have multiple sides, then you don't have to finish it because it will be in between. But see if you have to do that. And also maybe you can make it short. I can see now I don't have to, but I will make it a bit shorter. It's just that you need a reinforcement here at the top of your strap, so that it doesn't come loose, that you only have 2 stitches or something when you don't use this fabric as an extra reinforcement. So then you put it inside your dress where the strap should be. Make sure that of course the whole reinforcement is inside your dress. So I put the strap in and I'm first going to sew it onto the facing or the lining. This is the inside of the dress. So I can just do some stitching that you don't see on the outside, that this reinforcement fabric is secured, and then I will close it up with the outer fabric, and then I have a nice strap. And I'll do that for all the 4 pieces. And the other dress, totally different style, but I really like the 2-layered pieces. The straps are now in the right length. You can see for the front and the back looks really nice. It's nice and secured now, so I don't have to be afraid that the strap will come loose and the whole dress will fall down, because it's rather heavy fabric, heavy dress. But I must say, at the time that I had to make these adjustments, especially taking the straps off very carefully and then sewing back on and doing the reinforcements, I think I could have made the whole dress from scratch, because that is why I don't like adjustments. It sometimes takes a lot of time when you want to do it nice and neat and not make a hole or something. So this was quite a lot of work, but because these straps are so very, very tiny and thin, when you have bigger straps, of course it's way easier. You just fold them over or cut them off and sew them back on, and that's not a problem at all. But for this dress it was quite a struggle, but I wanted to show you how you can attach these thinner straps, or very fine straps, how you can make them nice and secure. I made a dress before from a pleated chiffon. It was that light blue one with the floral pattern on top of it. And when you make it from scratch, it's very easy to attach them very secure, but when you have to put them back in, it is way more difficult. And this is a nice way to make it good and nice looking, and still not be afraid that it will come loose. So I think it's a nice tip to have for you in the future when you need something where you have to make reinforcements for something. And you can also use this when you make a strap, well, not straps, but more closures or something from elastic in a waistband or anywhere on sleeves, that you don't want it to come loose when you have it attached on one side. Then this is a very strong attachment way of attaching it, so that it will stay put. So I hope you like these adjustments. They were not the standard ones, so that's why I did it, just to show you how you can change things in a different way than you would normally do, or than you would normally think of. And especially the first one is a very nice way to do it differently than you would normally do. And I hope you got some inspiration. It's very nice to buy very to thrift items that you can just change and match up to your body size and body type. I hope you like this one. I'll see you again next time in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.